Thanks, but no thanks.
Threads. Yeah.
Thanks for your interest.
Story of my life.
In Blue Sky.
All right, let's do it. What a world that we're saying, yay, Mark Zuckerberg products, but like I get it. When you're
We have a whistleblower
when
at
the
Meta.
other option is Mr. Diamond Mine. The best
Does that
we got, I
music
guess.
sound slow to anybody else?
Nope.
No.
It's a connection thing.
Did you take drugs before you?
No.
Not this week.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Bloody Good Horror. My name's Eric, and I will be your host for this evening, where we will be discussing The Wrath of Becky. This is a sequel to the movie Becky. Joining me tonight, first up from the Bay Area of San Francisco, please welcome Rachel to the show.
I'm not saying this movie gave me ideas, but this movie gave me ideas, so don't mess with me tonight, fellas.
A lot of wish fulfillment going on here in Wrath of Becky. Next up from Indiana, please welcome Casey.
Hello.
And last up tonight from Manhattan, New York City, please welcome John Schnars to the show.
Hi, Eric.
What's up? I live in New York too, but after I say Manhattan, it doesn't seem cool to be like, and then 3 hours north of there, that's where I am.
I guess it is about 3 hours.
There's nice mountains.
2.5.
I live on the Mohawk
Manhattan's
River.
hat.
Yeah,
There you go. The capital region.
that's right. That's where the capital is, John. It's where the important business goes down.
Yes. Ooh, doggy.
John,
Don't get me started on the capital region.
speaking of
Yes.
important business,
Mhm.
Bloody Good Horror now on Thread.
Oh, wow. Top of the show. Mention. Jesus.
Well, they got me all in a
desperately
Twitter,
casting
Twitter,
around for a
ironically,
Twitter
that I
replacement.
was gonna have to like make sure we claimed our thing, but actually, like, this was pretty nice because it just ties into your Instagram, so you get the chance to get in there and claim it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
you
don't
didn't really
worry
have to
about
fight for it.
shenanigans, which is nice. So, still waiting for Blue Sky. I don't know what they're.
You and Rachel.
Yep, you and me.
I suppose I get being that way for like a little. The only reason I could think that Blue Sky would still be restricted the way it is that they do not have the money and infrastructure to just open it up.
Isn't Blue Sky, what's his name? The old Twitter guy?
Yeah, Jack Dorsey.
Jack Dorsey. Yeah.
It's still, you have to be invited to use it still.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's like marketing. Ultimately, they're just they're
like
building demand.
It's like
John-
Raya for ugly people.
John, people are in a fervor because I mean now is the time to do it because of this shit where you can't use TweetDeck and the people are in a fervor for it, John. Like eventually, Net Thread just ate their lunch.
My fervor has remained exactly at the same level. For all
My
Tell
pro-
me more about your fervor.
Here's my beef though. Ultimately, like I need one to win out. Like I can't be managing like three. or
No,
four.
God, no. Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
It's like the Blu-ray versus DVD HD DVDs all over
There
again.
you go. All right, y'all. We're here to talk Becky. Let's take a quick break and do just that.
This is it, Jennifer. Your big break in TV. From the prime time. Main feature.
Jonathan.
This is Becky 2. I just want to clarify.
Becky, the Wrath of Becky. That's right.
Wrath of Becky.
More importantly, John, you
Yeah.
are wearing a black T-shirt this evening.
Yes. Yes.
Could you reflect?
Many times.
Could you reflect back on your day for us and explain how this happened,
Okay, so I can tell you exactly what happened.
please?
It's hot as what I would refer to as a motherfucker
Yes,
here
it's
in New York
extremely
City.
hot. Yeah.
And so commuting home, I was wearing a white tee underneath a white short sleeve button down, SSBD, and
Sounds white.
it was because it was so hot. I'm like, I don't want anything that's going to draw the heat and the light to me. I sweat through both of them. They were just both soaking wet. I had to
Hot.
both just thrown away. So yeah, this is just like my laying around the house.
Trying to get me worked up, John. Talking about
Yeah,
sweating.
well, yeah.
Speaking of working me up, Schnars, please bring us the word of the day.
Eric, today's word, Valknut. Valknut? You guys know Valknut?
Because of this movie.
Do they say the word in the movie? Or maybe in the first movie they say,
I read it today on the first movie's Wikipedia when I was trying to remind myself what happened in the first movie.
There you go. That's where I saw it as well. I did not use it the first time around either, which makes me think it was probably not referenced directly in the first movie. This is the well, here, I'll give the definition. It's not like this is not from the dictionary. This is more like a Wikipedia definition. The Valknut is a Norse symbol that is often associated with death and the god Odin. The name Valknut is a modern Norwegian compound word that means not of those fallen in battle. It is a combination of the words Valr, V-A-L-R, slain warrior, and Nut, meaning not. So, for people who have seen the movie, there is a symbol. She has this key. We can get into the key later. It has these triangles, these interlocking triangles. That is a Valknut symbol. There is a page on the ADL website, which makes me a little nervous that, Valknut is not like a super above board thing.
I mean, the Nazis are into it, so I'm going to guess not.
Yeah, but I couldn't remember. She doesn't get the key from the Nazis. I thought the key was from her dad. Or does she?
The key she found amongst her in her treehouse or something?
Oh, but it was the Nazi key.
I'd like to let Rachel talk because she is nodding in recognition right now.
I mean, I remember this from the movie. I don't know that I have that much to add to it, but yeah, I mean, it was something that was left there before Nazi Paul Blart went to prison.
Right.
They were coming back for.
Oh,
gotcha. I, for some reason, was not associating it back to the original film's bad guys. I was associating it to her life before the bad guys showed up. So that's my miss. That's ultimately what they're trying to get from her, I guess, in the first movie when she has to go on her murder spree. Is the key? That's a question. Okay, great.
Sorry, I got distracted. What were you asking me a question?
That's the thing they're trying to get back from her in the first movie.
Yes, because we don't know what it is, but it's sort of the MacGuffin of the first film.
Right.
In this, she has the thumb drive. It's the thumb drive of the first movie.
It's like somebody saw Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, but cool and we can talk about it. They also are obviously, they're trying to build a bigger mythos here.
Yes.
Well, third film is on the way.
Well, I mean,
we are preparing to enter the Becky universe.
Well, to be honest with you, though, until Eric mentioned it on Slack earlier today, I forgot Kevin James was in the first one.
Oh my god,
he was the Sean William Scott of.
I know.
So,
all right, y'all. John, why don't you tell me about Becky, the Wrath of Becky? Is it Wrath or the Wrath?
The Wrath. Yeah.
The Wrath of Becky.
Yeah, Wrath of Becky. We were talking about this a little bit before the show, but interesting. So the first film, Becky, is I think 2020 is the date on it.
Yep.
We might not have covered it till 21.
No, I think that was one we actually did when it came out. It was a VOD situation.
Because it was like a VOD during the pandemic. This was one of those movies that I think was in the can, and they sort of were able to get it out the door, if I remember. I try not to remember that period of my life, but
same, bro.
So the producers here, and there's 18 producers, but they basically replaced both the writers and directors of the first film. So here, the second film, directed by Matt Angel and Susan Coote. Matt Angel, and they are also the writers here as well. Matt Angel is also, I think he plays Sean. Yeah, he's one of the baddies in this. I think I couldn't. None of them look like their IMDb picture, so it's hard to remember based on exactly what the hell. But he's one of the baddies. So he's also the director, writer, along with Susan Coote. This film finds Becky 3 years. It's basically set sort of in appropriate chronological time from when the first film came out. So she is now 3 years older. Same actress, Lulu Wilson, is reprising her role as Becky. We find her, well, in the very beginning, we find her being placed with a foster family, which she proceeds to escape from immediately, and then run away. And we get this like cool interstitial like title sequence that has animation and so on and so forth that sort of explains what's going on with her, which is she's going on the run. She's
Sort of. I didn't know what the hell I was looking at, if I'm being honest. I was like, wait, I thought she was with that family, and then she's with this old lady. Like, I was so confused.
No, well, you had to pay attention to the title sequence. It was
I
like
was
very
but it
informationally
dense.
dense.
No, it did not make sense to me.
All right, Eric.
Because I didn't understand, is this stuff that happened before she ended up at this foster place or after?
Where were you looking through your progressive lenses, I guess?
I was trying all angles.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was not that hard to understand, at least from my vantage point. But yeah, so she basically lands with this elderly black woman who she isn't like telling that much to. She's working at a diner. But this black woman like understands what the deal is, and they sort of have this like very friendly, like don't ask, don't tell type of relationship. But they're getting closer as we see them living together. And then she's working in the diner, and some white supremacists, like crazy right wing types, show up.
They were Proud Boys equivalents.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
it's a specific flavor. It's worth.
There's so many. I can't. The 3%ers.
Noblemen.
Yeah, the noblemen. That is. You're right. That's what they were called. Probably. Yeah. You're right. Probably. Okay. So fair enough. Maybe it's 2 on the nose then.
Well, I think their actual title in the movie was Noblemen Proud Boys.
Yeah. There you go. Fair.
That part.
They like have this really not great interaction with Becky because Becky doesn't take any shit, and they're being somewhat difficult. And so then they decide they're gonna like scare her. They decide, so they sort of follow her home. They go to her house. There is then a run-in with the woman, the woman who she's residing with. They put a gun on Becky. The woman puts a gun on them. They're all like trying to calm the situation down, and then one of them pulls out a gun and shoots the homeowner. And so then this kicks off like the wrath of Becky. Now she has to get her revenge for her friend. They also kidnap her dog. The thing I would probably most like to talk about is the like strategic thinking of the noblemen characters. There is no plan at any point for what these guys are going to do.
Not a lot of infosec either.
I believe they call it strategery.
Yeah. But it like the plan to like scare her, but they're like super violent, but then they're just going to like scare her. I don't know. And then they murder someone, but they leave her alive, but take her dog. Like what in what universe does any of this make any sense?
Well, that feeds into the plot too, though, because we find out that everything that these guys have done is not necessarily the plan. Once we meet up with Daryl.
Yeah. Are you telling me the noblemen are not smart and not using logic, sir? I am shocked and offended.
Oh. All right. Well, all right. I don't want to get too like that's basically so as Casey is teeing up we then. I don't know, at the end of the first act, like we're kind of in almost to the middle of the film, they introduce Sean William Scott as sort of the leader of this local chapter. They're planning to assassinate a senator.
Yeah, I think
so. Who's going to hold like a rally in their town. And so that's sort of like the bigger picture story that's happening here. Eric, did you get any of that? You're looking very quizzical. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. No, R.I.P. Eric. It's just
well, Eric's gone.
Things are popping off at the capital part of New York.
Can we even bring him back in?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
We'll try to send him. We'll send him the link. Casey, what did you think of this movie?
I remember enjoying Becky, the first movie. I don't remember a lot about it. It's one I watched once, enjoyed it, and then it kind of fell to the back burner. So it was kind of exciting to see us get back into that world and whatnot. And overall, it was pretty satisfying. So we get more of the same, which is Becky taking out, terrible people, which is fine, and we all enjoy that, and it's a little cathartic in this kind of world, so that's nice. I felt so this is interesting because this clocked in at like an hour and 24 minutes, and to me, I was kind of hoping for a little bit more mayhem. I think it could have taken like 10 more minutes, and I would have been more satisfied.
Rachel.
Okay, so listen, I understand that this is a movie that's about to get torn apart. I see it. I see the as you would describe it, shaggy edges. It's absurd, especially the ending. It's the coda at the end is absurd, right? But what this movie does so effectively is very gently caress every neuron in my brain by combining the two things I love, which are like unmitigated, justified teenage girl rage and gruesome violence against fascists. So like I'm
Nazi
kind of
punching.
in the bag. Yeah. Nazi punching. Yeah. So even though I see that this is an imperfect film, it's so fun and cathartic that I can't help but have a big soft spot for it. It reminds me much more of like an 80s action film than a horror film because it has this almost like cartoonish level of violence and ability to wreak havoc. I mean, all of these things are absurd, but I think we're used to seeing that character being embodied by like an action hero. And so that's where some of the cognitive dissonance comes around it. But for me, that actually equals more enjoyment. So yeah, I mean, anytime you're going to be like literally blowing the faces off of Nazis, I'm going to have a good time,
Yeah.
even when the logic is absolutely eye rolling. We touched on it a little bit, but Sean William Scott is actually pretty great in this. I haven't seen a lot of his post Stifler work, so I was not prepared for him to deliver like an actual quiet menace that he does here. I think he does what Kevin James was, or James, is that his name? Kevin James was trying to do in the first one much more effectively.
James Kevin.
Oh, yeah.
James,
You-
is it
you
James
get
Kevin?
Kevin.
No, it's James.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
just getting
I'm like
confused by his
Mandela
two
affecting
first
out
names.
right now. I do have one major issue with this film, which I think we'll get into around the disposability of one character. See my blackening review. But other than that, I had a really great time with this. It's a perfect movie. Okay.
Wow. Rachel, I was not expecting you to go that direction at all.
I don't think you have underestimated my bloodlust for fascists.
No, that's
this
fair.
teen kills fascists.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. Here, if possible, Eric is trying to get back into this call, and we're not sure if he's able to join.
Yeah, I think he'd be able to jump right back in. Oh wait,
Oh,
there he
there
is.
he is.
As we're
Great.
Welcome back.
Eric, hello.
Literally, my network just went down, so that's pretty sick.
Cool. I think we're probably okay.
Yeah, we're
Unless-
good. Do you remember where you were?
Yeah, no, we've kept the show going. We have not stopped doing the show.
I can tell you exactly where we were. Schnapps,
are you
why
from-
don't you tell us what you thought?
So Casey,
I think it's internet, but it was
Casey
actually a
and
coup led
Rachel
by
were both-
John.
Yeah.
All right, carry on. Just let me know when I can speak my piece here, I guess.
I
Way to go, StreamYard.
everything that you both like. There's a version of this movie that I like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I watched is not the one that I like that much. It just I found myself getting quite bored at a bunch of times. Now, the scenes where Lulu Wilson as Becky is punching the Nazis, I'm there for it. Like I'm in. It's great. It feels very low budget at times, and it also feels like they didn't even use the budget they had all that effective. Like, so Rachel, you mentioned it's mostly an action. Like this is like as horror adjacent as we get here on the show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's good because it's kind of, you know what it is? It's like exploitation-y. It feels like a send-up of an 80s exploitation film.
Well, and like, you know, I was reading in the Wikipedia mentions like they were like Kill Bill was like one of their, you know, reference points. Like, okay, sure. But like, there's not a lot of good action sequences in the movie. Like, when I say good action sequences, I mean like effectively shot and staged action. There's this scene very early in the movie where she's running through the woods and we see her like jumping over logs and like she's like knife fighting and blah blah. None of the action even really rises to that level when she's actually dealing with the Nazis.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of, and I realize when I say things like this, I'm going to sound like an asshole because it's not really the point of this movie. It just, like, most of the movie strains credulity when it comes to things that she does to, like, solve. Like, I would be happier with a universe where she's just, like, a badass, like, fighter and, like, you know, just awesome at manipulating weapons and yada yada. It's not really that. It's like she digs a deep hole and then tricks a guy to fall into it, somehow manages to tie him up and get a grenade into his mouth and get him out of the hole. Like, how is she doing all of these things?
That's fair.
She's not superhuman. I don't know.
Well, that's why we get the ending of the movie.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
CIA material, John, you know.
I don't know. And I was hitting before, like, the Nazis are just like next level idiotic. Like, and there's both a lot of planning and plotting going on.
That
at the
I think might actually
level.
track. That might actually track.
I'd
with,
like to
Proud
introduce
Boys
you
type
to
people.
The insurrection of January 6th.
Sure. I mean, fair enough. I don't know.
That
but
was
like,
not a Mensa convention. I'm just gonna say.
I guess what I don't believe is like they shoot the black woman, which like we can get in if you want to get into the racial piece of this. Like, they leave Becky alive, even though she was the one they came there to have a beef with. Like, why wouldn't they just kill both of them? Like,
Yeah, and she witnessed them shoot. the
yeah,
lady.
no, they've demonstrated they're cool murdering. Like, murder, no problem. So just do 2 murders then, because
Yeah.
you're
Oh,
gonna
you
go to
said-
jail forever for
you
one
said-
murder.
You said cool with murdering.
Yeah.
I thought you said they demonstrated their cool murdering.
That's what I heard
And
too.
murder is kinda
They're
cool.
cool with murdering. They've already
Yeah, no, I picked it up. It took me a
they've
second.
done the murdering, and but they're like, no, we draw the line at murdering this person that we actually came here with a beef against.
Yeah.
And then they take the dog, which like, why are they leaving the dog alive?
It doesn't make
What-
a lot.
like,
That
it
part,
just-
I will
it's
definitely give you that.
ridiculousness.
Well, you know, Schneiders, and listen to you talk, and I mentioned how I felt like this movie might have been a little too short. I could have used like with another 10 minutes more.
Oh, hell no.
whatnot.
Did you say that?
But you
Other
talk-
direction.
Well, no, but I think part of the problem is for me is there wasn't enough Nazis. There's
Well,
only like 4 total.
I'll be real. For me, the hour
Flipping
25
that.
was like when you make your movie an hour 25, and I'm giving you a 7 right out of the goddamn gate. Like, let's do this. I really like this movie. It's just a fun little exploitation-y kind of romp, and like that stuff that you're describing, John. Not that stuff about their dumb moves, because that's pretty dumb.
Yeah.
But like the silliness of like, how did she tie him up, and it's almost like that's the Becky thing. Is it's kind of cartoony on purpose.
Yeah.
And there's an interesting like contrast there, because it's pretty serious material. We're talking about like white supremacists and revenge movies and murder, and like, so it's the fact that she dispatches people in these almost violent Looney Tunes kind of ways. It is a choice. Like, it's a real choice, but it sort of, I think, brings, that's the when I think of the Becky personality, like that's what I think of. I really love Sean William Scott. But wait. Let me say this. In general,
Oh,
Yeah.
fair.
I don't know. It's like,
Hero.
I enjoyed him here because I just like him. He seems like a cool dude. But like, the problem
I
for
hope
him,
there's no goods out there.
Oh,
on him. No.
the problem for him in this movie is that Kevin James kind of killed it as a Nazi dude, like killed it. And it was such a surprise. That was like a fun thing about Becky. So it's kind of fun that they then went. And also, although I mean, like, I guess unless you're a Nazi, it's out of left field pick for anybody to play a Nazi, right? Like, But there is something here with like sort of formerly comedic actors doing scary, dramatic turns. He is fun. I don't really think that he reaches the like Kevin James. I think Kevin James has a lot more to do in that movie too. To your point, like there's a stretch in the middle. This whole stretch between the dinner scene, and when the Becky killing starts, that's like a little bit. We're in the second act, but like there's not a lot happening. Like we're kind of just waiting for the Becky murder to start. That said, I did really enjoy his monologue in the bedroom when he's trying to intimidate that dude. That I think is his like kind of shining acting moment in the movie. But I don't know. For me, it's like real breezy. It's fun. I like the idea of a sequel to a movie you'd never expect, but like the idea works. It's kind of funny that she just keeps running into Nazis. That's pretty funny. My only real complaint, honestly, I didn't love the casting on the neo-Nazi dudes. I just feel like there's just so much video evidence. No, it's Sean William Scott, great. And is that guy Courtney Gaines from Children of the Corn?
Yes.
Yes.
That guy is fine. He's fine.
He's great. He's
the younger
really
kid dudes, they're like younger dudes in the truck. Like we have so much video evidence of how much those dudes, like, you know, I think of like the Tiki Torch guys. Remember that? Like at Charlottesville? Like we have such video evidence of this very specific kind of chud that those guys are, that like I would have liked to see a little better casting. Like this main dude, he's like
I really like the weenie
great
one.
Variety pack, like a fascist variety pack.
Well, I love the weenie guy who was like, you said it was going to be a rally.
That is your Tiki Torch wielder, and then you've got your like run of the mill incel who's like the little.
It bothered me that they didn't put him in khakis though.
Run of the mill incel. That I think the Tiki Torch guy is the director. I think that, just like eyeballing them now. Okay. Yep. I loved Children of the Corn guy. I did not clock him immediately. It was only when I was like Googling around and looking at the cast. I was like, oh shit. So here's the thing. This movie also for me was not as funny as I wanted it to be. I thought the first one was funny. Like there were more moments in the first that like worked as jokes. I thought Sean William Scott good. Like I'm on board. I really love the movie Goon. Rachel, if you haven't seen Goon,
I haven't seen that, but I've heard very good things about it.
Eric, yeah, same.
What other things do you like Sean William Scott in that aren't Goon? I'm talking to Eric, who is telling me he likes Sean William Scott.
You know what I like him in? I like him in that movie with Paul Rudd, Grown Ups. Is that what that's called?
No,
not Grown Ups. What's it called? Where they're like sort of down on their luck 30-somethings that are being forced to like grow up.
Jackass
they're doing the
3D.
Big Brother. No, they're doing the Big Brother program or something.
Yeah. He's
Cop Out. Oh no, Role Models. Role Models.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
God, that movie's 15 years old. Just to be clear.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Every time I see him, I like him. It's maybe been 15 years since I've seen him in something, but he's cool.
Goon, I think it's like 2011. It's not that recent or anything. And they made a.
But you know what is funny when you're watching him? It's like I feel as I'm watching him act this role that I am watching him use like every ounce of self-control that he has to rein in the Sean William Scottness. Like, because he just is that dude that you see him in movie. Like he's so
Stifler, like
brash and loud and like, but what he's trying to do is quiet and intimidating. But I just feel him clenching his butt cheeks, trying to keep his actual personality. And it's funny.
I like it. I think it kind of works because it like gives him levels. Like you can see something simmering underneath, which I think is where you get that quiet, sinister menace. And I appreciated it and needed it because I think there is a risk when you're making something so topical to like ultimately defang what is literally an ongoing terroristic movement in our country in this moment. He needs to be scary. You can have the comic relief of the other dum-dums at the table.
Oh no, I mean,
but I appreciated it.
I'm not saying that he shouldn't be reining it in. Like, and I'm on board with you. What I'm saying is he is a gentleman whose personality is so strong that I just feel him trying to will it to be quieter in this role.
Yeah, and there was
I'm
something
enjoying
smoldering.
His existential torture of trying to act, basically.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
He definitely had something smoldering under the surface there, but it really came out in that scene with the dog where the mom was saying, I love this dog, I'm not going to hurt him, but he doesn't have that problem, which we don't want to see bad things hurt happen to dogs, but it was obviously, a film set. The dog wasn't hurt, but watching him as he clenched his hands on that dog, it just gave you kind of chills, though, too, to show how it's like, oh shit, he is evil.
Can I give you my favorite comedic moment of this movie? So,
Sure.
redhead guy when he's pleading for his life.
Yes.
And Becky, she's like about to kill him, or she's like about to spare him, and he's talking about his son. And he's
That was a real good joke.
Yeah, she's like, "What's your son's name?" And it was so obvious, like it's so obvious, but so good.
Adolf.
Yeah.
He can't even make up a name. I loved it.
So I just thought of a huge plot hole, which would have definitely
Just
helped
one.
us.
Hold
Well,
on.
we're talking about Sean William Scott, and at one point he mentions that they keep her out of the barn or whatever, because he mentions, I have enough don't call the police because I have enough arms in the barn to arm a small militia for an insurrection, which is what they were getting ready for the next day. But we never see Becky go to that barn.
No, well, she was in the
Yeah,
barn.
she totally went to the barn. That's
But
where
she
she got the grenade, where she
And the,
does
like,
that
smoke
dental
bomb.
work
Right,
on
that's where
someone.
that's where she finds all of the weapons.
I
right
must
after-
have not paying attention to that
She
scene
goes there a
because
couple times,
I
yeah.
thought she picked him up elsewhere.
It's immediately after she is spying on them and then grabs the thumb drive. Then we see her run into the barn, because it's actually kind of funny, because she's running with this like backpack on her back and making so much noise while she's like.
Well, I thought she was just grabbing tools and stuff out of that shed in that scene, but I may have.
No, I think that's the barn.
That's the
The
barn.
shed is at her house. The barn is at their house, and she
okay.
goes there. She goes there a couple times because that's also where her and Children of the Corn face off. Is at the barn.
Yeah. When
okay.
she throws like the smoke bomb on him.
Man, that guy still got that look.
Yeah, he does.
Oh man, he is. They really did him up right in this movie. And
I did not-
doing the banjo. Like, oh boy.
I pegged him right away, but not for Children of the Corn. I pegged him for the Burbs.
Yeah, the Burbs.
Another classic. Yes.
I really loved his stupid theme song that he was singing
Yes.
on his banjo.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I laughed quite a bit throughout this film. I think Lulu Wilson has great comedic timing. I found her quite funny. And he's a garbage person, but the incel has some great lines. And his exit is pretty funny when he's just like, yeah, I'm going to go do whatever you want. And then just books it. I laughed quite a few times throughout this. I don't know if it was as funny as the first one, but it also wasn't weirdly as dark as the first one. I don't know if
the
you
first one was
remember they
definitely
killed
darker.
a dog and...
Yeah.
Also,
rough stuff.
Rachel, Nazi movie in 2020, like bad now still, but not bad. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to think about it, but in 2020, with everything else going on, you're like, oh god, there's Nazis again. I'm like, oh. I'm just saying, like, we're a little desensitized to it, I
Right.
feel like, at this point.
I appreciate
So I
it to
do
some
remember
degree,
the
though.
first film being bleaker, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and I think her arc is less super heroic and more like trauma kitty by the end when she kills the last guy. When he's like kind of like bowing down before her. Like this one kind of makes it a little bit more of a fantasy wish fulfillment instead of just like a straight up revenge film.
Someone who was reading the Wikipedia page for this movie just today, it sounds like Kevin James like kills a bunch of people, including like a family in that movie.
Her family.
Like
Yeah, well,
don't
he
they
kills
kill
his
somebody
dad.
in the very beginning? Like a family to steal a car, like because they escape
Could be.
prison.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we see him do a bunch of atrocities like in the movie, whereas really the only person we see Sean William Scott kill is the one dude that's with him that won't listen to him.
Right.
And he's
So we
mean
don't
to
see
the dog.
him outwardly do as much stuff. It's more just his posturing. It's weirdly kind of feels a little smaller than the first movie in some
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah,
It's
it does.
definitely
Feels a lot
smaller. It's
smaller.
definitely, which is weird. This was like another struggle I have. It's both feel smaller, but they're trying to make it feel bigger, and that's where like some of the budget stuff I was mentioning comes. Like they're trying to set up. I mean, they're almost like trying too hard, in my opinion, to set up a third film, and they're really trying to do this like bigger world building. Like she stumbled on this whole network, and like she's just a teen who can take out all the Nazis.
For sure. I do. I also, though, like, if you're this, well, it wasn't the same director, it was the same producers.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
producers. Yeah.
I was going to say, like, if you get money to make another one of these, that's kind of so unlikely in itself. I kind of like the idea of taking the Hail Mary shot and being like, universe question mark? Like, let's do more of these.
Yeah.
Although I don't know that I love the idea of her being an agent so much as like, I kind of like the idea of her in a what's that show out with it's not Wild Card. It's with the Orange is the New
Poker
Black
Face?
lady. Thank you, Poker Face.
Oh yeah.
But like the Columbo, like traveling town to town, and then we just happen to meet Nazis in every town and we kill them.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of
like
a road
a
adventure.
Nazi of the week type setup.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd tune in for that.
Sure. No,
Gotta
again,
get my serotonin somewhere.
I was curious, like how y'all felt about like where the, the FBI comes into this, and it's like,
So here's where it gets a little tricky politically for me, that we are now setting up the CIA as the heroic force that she joins with. My hope is that her career with the CIA is like basically begins and ends with that bazooka shot, because they are not the heroic character.
Rachel,
Yeah.
maybe she goes rogue agent, and it turns out like there's Nazis in the CIA, and she takes them down.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but maybe she's a special.
Where do I
network
send money to make this movie?
Are you just talking about the 2024 election at this point, John? Like,
I mean, I think you've got something here, John. I think you've got
All right.
this has legs.
If anyone's got an in, I can spin this out further. No, I sort of agree, but again, like making her part of the establishment undercuts what makes the movie fun and interesting to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Like,
Unless it's about exposing, like.
man, imagine having your shit together at 16 enough.
her and Joe Biden are taking down this.
Imagine having your shit together at 16
Dark
enough
Biden.
to both have a job and like pay rent.
Yeah,
It's pretty wild.
I mean, I can't imagine the rent was too high. In
What do you say? I don't know.
I mean, the best part though about Becky becoming part of the CIA is we got a surprise Kate Siegel appearance
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
Yeah,
It's
do
like,
love
oh,
her.
cool.
Do love her. Anytime she shows up, I get excited. The other thing
I
I
always confuse her name. Who? Oh,
Katie Seagal.
Katie Seagal. Yeah, because anytime somebody says that, I'm like, oh, I love her. And I'm like, that's not her. That's someone else.
I also love Katie Seagal.
I was
I would-
very confused for a second there too. So
I went to double check that it was Kate Siegel before I said it because I get caught up in that too.
I mean, I think it's all like some weird Flanagan-averse, right? Because Lulu Wilson was in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ouija.
And,
I'd
but
be
I
okay
think
if it turns
Kate
out to be
Siegel's
true.
going to be in the third film, is the Scuttlebutt. So I think they're setting
Is
that
there
up.
scuttlebutt of a third film?
I mean, if they didn't make it, I almost assumed they had them both budgeted before.
Maybe.
They
It's going to
went
be like a
out
Ty
with
West situation where they're going to be like, the third one's already made.
Yeah.
We made it at the same time. We only had a
Coming
budget for
out.
one movie and we split it into two.
So how
be.
this thing on the Wikipedia page, they did list like box office, this went straight to VOD. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
you
there's
can-
maybe like a
it's-
very limited release. And
It's
I think
rentable right now.
Watch or buy, rent or buy. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I guess it must have played a couple of midnight screenings or something, but
I do think they need to. I think Lulu Wilson's awesome, and I'm down to watch another Becky movie and whatnot. But with that CIA turn at the end, we get that little scene with a grenade launcher. She kind of looked like a kid playing dress up. So, if they do another 2 or 3 years, then she might actually, she'll look more like a
It's like
CIA
a Cody
agent.
Banks
I think
FBI
that was-
agent.
Exactly.
that was intentional, I think.
Do we know how
for
old
sure.
she is?
I think she's 18.
I would love to see it turn into like an Atomic Blonde, like
Yeah.
Charlize Theron just kicking ass kind of
See,
thing.
but that's where,
like
and I can't
legit
remember.
action would be fun.
Eric, I don't know if I said this when you were on or not, but to me, that's where this movie, the action sequences are not
No, they're not. It's
up
not
to
nothing
action
amazing.
movies.
Honestly,
standards.
but that's kind of what part of the charm of what I enjoyed is and when we talk in the beginning about what genre is this, it's very low budget B horror. The kills and the
Yeah.
effects and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just feel like there's stunt coordinators walking around these days who can action up your movie. Like the number of action movies getting cranked out on Netflix that are solid. Like these people exist.
Yeah.
Maybe they were like, look, we're got to have this truck explosion shot, and so we're not hiring a stunt coordinator. And that was the debate. I don't know.
That's why I was saying, though, could have used 5 to 10 more minutes. You beef up some of those action sequences and stuff. Give us some extra time in there to, fill those out. I'd be down with another 10 minutes.
It would immediately fall to like a 4 or 5 for Eric.
I would have been
unfortunately.
less happy. If it was 10 minutes more. It ended at the perfectly perfect.
No, it definitely. I did not need this to be any longer.
It's honestly like I'm subject matter aside. It feels like a little extended, like Black Mirror or something.
Yeah, a little bit.
And that's just like quick and tight.
Have you watched Black Mirror? Yeah, I don't know.
I just mean watching. All I mean by that is watching an hour and 25-minute movie. Because some of those Black Mirrors are very much like mini movies. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Rachel, the one. Did we talk about this last week? The one with. It's set in Scotland. The first horror one. Black Mirror.
It's Demon 79.
No, Lock something.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet. Well, Demon 79's in the UK as well. Okay. All right. I'm going to watch it tonight.
It's so good.
Well, you got to watch Demon 79. It's
I
hilarious
will.
and fantastic.
Now,
Is that the one you told me I needed to watch? Besides
you
the
need to
Annie one?
watch. No, that's a whole other movie. I said you need to watch Unwelcome because you like a creature feature like I do. And
Oh no, we were talking on Facebook though about when you interviewed Annie.
Well, I can't keep track of all of our wheelings and dealings,
I know.
Casey. But yeah, I will definitely check that out. I need to check that out.
All right,
Is
John.
other
Unwelcome,
little-
is Unwelcome something we got to cover here on the old pod or what?
I don't know. It's like a creature feature that's on Shudder right now. It's like a kind of a full core, but the reason I thought Casey would like it is it's about like goblins and there is some puppetry involved and there's some like some gory kills. It's fun. It's fun.
I'm down.
It's on Shudder. Like you didn't have to go any further than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Shudder, give me that check.
I wish.
Well, this week we got Insidious, don't we?
Yes, we do.
True. Yes, Insidious 4. The Insidious everyone has been clamoring for. The red door, I think is that what it's called.
Am I so naive that I actually kind of have high hopes for it?
Yes.
Now, again, we talked
Rachel,
about this
you're
last
the one
time that I
didn't
didn't
see the third one, right?
or the second one, which is why I think
I love that.
why I
That's
think
incredible.
maybe I'm
You're like,
coming off the
I don't
high
know,
of the
guys,
first
I
one.
think it might be kind of good. Like, all right.
Oh, sweet summer child.
I want you to watch the other two and report back.
Yeah. I want video of Rachel watching this new one. Like, wait a minute, when did that
You
shit
just
happen?
watch the light go out of my eyes.
Isn't Insidious 2 the one with Carl?
That's
It's
the
like
third one, maybe?
third Insidious 3 have Carl. He's my favorite. Wait till you just let me know when you get to him, Rachel, when you're watching.
You think
Do we-
he'll be in this one? I'm not gonna know who he is. All right, great.
Do we know if
That'll be
Lynn
fun.
Shay's in it?
Lynn Shay she's on the, she's on the cast list.
Hell yeah. I
It
was
could-
worried
She's
Lynn
like
Shay
the
wasn't getting enough
jigsaw of
jobs.
that. Like, how do you keep bringing her back? Didn't she die at the end of the first one?
I hadn't
Well-
seen Lynn Shay on the screen all year, John. I was worried.
I know.
No, she's
Make sure
fine.
she's eating.
Don't worry about Lynn Shay. No,
Not going to
stop.
like no step in tubs for her.
All right. Well, do we recommend Wrath of Becky, John?
I'm gonna say no.
Rachel?
Oh yes, most definitely.
Casey?
I'd say yes.
I'm also a yes, especially if you like the first one. This is reversey week because John's in his black shirt. He's saying no to Becky. Like it's
Is it like
Thank-
Ruth Gator Binsberg, where she would have like a dissent and a like collar that she would put on when you put on the black shirt? We better watch
Oh,
out.
I like it.
Okay, maybe.
I didn't know she did that, but I'm into that.
I've been no for I feel like a couple weeks in a row. It's been a while since
Yeah.
I've gotten a yes, but
You feeling all right over there, John?
I'm
When
waiting
I've
to
had
be
like
wowed,
4 or
Eric.
5, when I've had
Insidious
4 or
4,
5
come
weeks
at
of
me.
not recommending a movie, I'm always like, wait, is it me?
Probably not.
Uh, All right,
Expensive dudes.
that's gonna do it for Wrath of Becky. Let's take a quick break and do some fan mail.
Send feedback to info@bloodygoodhorror.com.
Had an
Or
email.
on Twitter using hashtag AskBGH.
That never happens to
Join
me
the
either with
Patreon to
my
get back episodes and much
connection
more.
dropping out. It's crazy.
Patreon.com/bloodygoodhorror.
Internet, Eric. How does it work?
John Schnars. You know what I've been watching the last couple of days, John?
Ha.
Star Wars.
Black
Have you heard
Mirror?
of that?
Jesus Christ.
You're familiar?
This guy.
Like once
can't
every 10
remember.
years. I'm not like a all the time Star Wars, like hell yeah, Star Wars. But like once a decade, I get a wild hair and I start watching them and I'm like, guys, these are fucking good. Do you guys know this? How good these are?
Just
watched
wait, like episodes 4, 5, and 6, or are you going?
That's
all the way
I'm
down?
probably gonna do all of them, but that was how I started. Yeah.
Will you
I
be
like the
delving
fir-
into like all of the Clone Wars and
I've
and
watched
all the
a
animated
decent
series?
amount of the original Clone Wars series. It just gets to be a lot at some
Yeah.
point. Like the problem with the Clone Wars is I dig it. It's fun. There's way too many filler episodes. Like what I need is somebody to supercut on YouTube the
Yes.
important plot points, basically. Because the other annoying thing about Clone Wars, now you got me in something else, Rachel, is that
We can talk about Star Wars. all
they
night. I'm
aired
settling
the
in.
original episodes out of order of the story. So
Yes,
if you actually want to follow the
know,
Clone
I
Wars
know.
story, you got to go like look up guides of what order to watch
chronological.
the episodes in, and it's a mess.
Mm-hmm.
This
Like
sounds
characters
terrible.
that die are suddenly just back, and you're like,
It's a legit good series. It's really fun. It has my favorite character from the prequels. I'm not like the biggest prequel fan, but there are things I like about them, and one of those things is General Grievous, because the idea of a sick robot who coughs, I don't know why, it's brilliant. He's got 4 arms. He does this. It's the sweetest thing ever.
Can I make a professional recommendation for 1
Sure.
second? My company does pods, and we made a pod actually for TED, the TED Audio Collective, called it's The Redemption of Jar Jar Binks, and it came out last week. It's 6 parts, and it's kind of goes in. I mean, it goes into the whole like arc of Jar Jar from when the movie came out. But one of the key voices is the actor who played Jar Jar.
Ahmed Best.
Okay,
Yeah,
that sounds good. That sounds interesting. The best thing was when they were making the new movies and they were teasing like, a shadowy Sithy figure. Like there was this whole fan canon
who
that
thought it was
basically
gonna be
Jar
like a
Jar Binks
Darth Jar Jar.
was
Oh, yeah.
was it that Jar Jar Binks was a Sith
Yeah.
and that he was intentionally screwing things up the whole time to try to like sabotage.
Yeah.
They did try to do like a mini redemption for him in the 3rd season of The Mandalorian. It's kind of like a subtle one.
Is he in it?
Oh God.
Ahmed Best
Ahmed
is.
Best is,
Oh.
and it appears that, well, I don't want to spoil things for you, but he gets a little bit of a like canon redemption.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I want to check that out.
I haven't
Yeah.
watched the 3rd season. Is
But
it worth
Have
the
you
time?
watched
Yeah.
Andor? That's
Can I
the
ask a
Andor.
Andor's
question?
incredible.
Can I ask a
Andor's
question?
the best.
Because I watched
Literally the best Star Wars.
Yeah,
I watched a
agree.
couple episodes of The Mandalorian years ago and forgot about it and never finished it. Is The Mandalorian like the titular is that Boba Fett?
No.
No. There's,
So he
there's
dies.
another Boba Fett show.
No,
Boba
Boba
Fett
Fett's
doesn't-
Boba
Not
Fett's
yet.
still around. The
Boba Fett has his
Mandalorians are
own
the race.
show. They
Yeah,
like
yeah.
cross paths. They help each other.
What's the Boba Fett show called?
The
Book of
The Book of
Boba
Boba
Fett.
Fett.
Yeah.
And is
It's
that
only one
voiced
season.
It
by
is
that?
not good.
Is
Yeah,
that
I
voiced by
watched the
that
first
same
episode
dude?
and did not like it.
That's
That-
voiced
No.
by that same dude that does all
Same
the
actor,
Clone
yeah.
Wars and everything. Okay,
Well, he
So
doesn't
the-
do the voice in Clone Wars. Those are all David D. Bradley Baker does all
it's
the
a
voice
new
of the
dude.
clones.
It's a new person.
It's just that's the voice actor that does all of the clones.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But
So-
the actor from the prequels is in the live action series.
I thought that was the same person. It's not the same person.
Not the same voice. The voice actor is different than the live action person. Live action person is the same person from the prequels, but the person who does the voices for the cartoons is one guy who does all of them.
Interesting.
It's
So the
Kiyu, I
idea
can't
is
think of
that
his last name.
at the end of Return of the Jedi, he manages to get out of the Sarlacc pit, basically,
Yeah.
and continue. See, I think
And you see how he does it in Book of Boba Fett. It does not improve the it does
No.
not live up to whatever you think happened.
well, it's
Yeah.
really funny that because like that character, especially when you watch the prequels, like Boba Fett, there's like all of this fate involved, right? And it's like they beef up that whole Boba Fett storyline, and then you watch Return of the Jedi, and he literally dies in like this slapsticky way and gets like thrown against the thing. And he's like, oh, and he's like his jetpack is going, like it's so funny, like.
My
So I
assumption.
watched them on Disney, right? I watched the original trilogy on Disney, so they're all the special editions. I haven't seen them in
Boo.
years. I enjoyed the first one more than I thought I would because that's always kind of been my least favorite. It's pretty good. Like it's better than I remembered it being the first one.
The kid actor. All right, so I haven't seen it in
no.
many
I'm
years.
talking about the original trilogy.
Oh,
wait, your hot take is that the original Star Wars is good?
Yeah, Eric, what? I thought you were talking about episode 1, and I was like, hold on a second,
No,
dude.
my whole thesis here is: did you guys know that Star Wars is like really good?
I watched them.
I've heard rumors
during the pandemic with my kids, and they're
Like
great.
it held up more than I thought it would. That's pretty good. It is some of that special edition shit is like real. Here's the hilarity now in hindsight of the special edition thing. It's not. I'm not even sure that I care if filmmakers want to go back and do stuff like that. However, the the fact that they basically locked that print in at the absolute height of the worst CGI was ever going to be is hilarious. That's the problem with the prequels is the CG is just of that so bad.
Yeah.
So terrible. And it's everything. Everything is CGI. And like the fact that because you could go back today and like do what he did and make it pretty flawless probably. You know what I mean? Like you could add shit with CGI now and have it be way more seamless. But it so sticks out.
You could make
now.
an AI actor that's better than that kid from the first one.
All right. Now we're
There's
going
a documentary about that kid too and how like it ruined his life basically being in that movie.
All right, that makes me feel bad. But
Good,
like,
you should.
There were adults involved in that movie that should fucking be embarrassed and know better and protected that kid from
like
what
whoever
happened
made
then.
Liam Neeson's wig. I kind of have nostalgia for those movies. They're whatever. It's like they're terrible, but I can sit and chill with them.
Jar
and,
Jar isn't even like the 5th worst part of the
Here's
first
what I
movie.
like.
He's not even the worst Nablonian. Like,
I like a lot of the ideas on paper, but just all of the dialogue and like the execution is just baffling. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. I think I'm down a Star Wars hole now.
Eric, if you knew someone who, say, was a Blackbeard of the internet, you could get the despecialized versions that
I have them on
have
VHS.
improved. Well, they've improved.
Oh, the D, right? That's like an actual fan edit thing, right? Gotcha.
Yes. I mean, I've heard legend told.
Yeah. No.
On the,
I'm gonna be real with
whispers
you.
from the deep dark
I'm gonna
web
be real
that I
with
know
you.
nothing about.
I don't think I care enough to jump through those hoops, but I appreciate.
Let's see how you feel at the end of Empire.
I want to
You might
see.
care
I
about how we
made,
get to Jedi.
I made it through all of them.
I want to see Topher Grace's supercut
I know, right? Yeah.
because he made like a 20-minute supercut of like the first 6 movies or something like that.
Yeah.
No, what did he do? It was that he edited all the prequels into one movie or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say that the prequels have been vastly improved retroactively through all of the supplemental things.
Well,
but-
there's characters and like mythos and stuff that totally work. I mean, that's the deal with the clone. That's why the Clone Wars is fun, because it's like a much more grounded take on that era of Star Wars, basically.
Yeah.
Did you
Hey,
watch
Filoni.
Andor, Eric?
No.
Like,
No, I mean,
That's pretty good.
It's so good.
it's just one of these things where do you like good stuff or do you want to like talk about watching episode 1?
I get a
6
little
times?
annoyed by like the creep of modern series where like I now have to have seen everything to connect it all.
This
That's
is a
fair.
thing where you've already seen all of the things.
No,
though, so
there's
you
like
can just
4
watch it.
shows I haven't seen.
Look,
Because you kind of need to see Rebels, and you kind of need to see
No,
Bad Batch now.
I've seen no other things. Like I've seen
Yeah.
Mandalorian 1 and 2. I watched one episode of Boba Fett, and I was like, I'm just fucking watching this Andor show because everyone says it's great, and it was really good. It's worth the time.
Did the second season start?
Best.
No, I don't.
Of
think.
Andor? No.
Yeah, I
They
think
were
it's
in.
like a
They had to
long time.
pause
I did-
production because
Okay.
of the writer's strike.
I did hear
But-
that Andor was really good. Now is that's a prequel to Rogue One?
Yes. Yeah. So the
So
there's
that
only going to be 2
Place
seasons.
between the 2 trilogies, basically canon.
Yeah,
wise.
but it is like no Jedi, no space lizards whatsoever. It's just people on the ground and like
Space
the.
lizards.
I like space
There
lizards
isn't even
too,
like a random
but
like bear dog alien because
there are aliens. There are
Yeah,
aliens.
there's random shit that shows up, but it's
It is
basically it's the story.
spectacular.
Yeah, it's the story of the rebellion. It's basically like what was the rebellion doing in its like infancy.
Yeah, it's like how it's got its legs.
I will say
And it's
one
about
thing.
the like grinding evil of bureaucracy.
I will-
Like it doesn't sound good, but it is amazing.
I will say
Rachel,
one
they
thing.
had you as soon as they
One last
grinding evil
thing.
of bureaucracy.
Yeah.
One last thing about Star Wars, and we can move on. Is I think that while I enjoy these like prestige new takes on Star Wars. Like I generally liked the new trilogy. Like whatever. We won't get into that. However, but here's the thing.
Dave Filoni will fix it.
The best. If you go back and watch the original, right? The complaint about the prequels is that it's so bogged down in politics and like. No, it's fine. But like going back and watching the originals, what I realized
the Trade
is like
Federation.
what I realized though is that the
Trade
politics is
fiduciary
actually
stuff.
the politics is there in the original series. It's just that it's only paid lip service to it's like background set dressing and dialogue to just paint out the world a little bit. But what makes Star Wars work is like the fantasy specifically. And then but now the newer stuff, it's so cranked to like the bureaucracy and I don't know, like the prequels in particular, I feel like suffered by being less archetypal fantasy and more bogged down in that kind of stuff. And then with the newer movies,
breath of fresh air. Andor.
with the newer movies too, though, it's like now we're just spending time learning what the average person is doing in Star Wars universe. And I think somewhere in the middle of the second new movie, I remember being like, I don't really care what the average people are doing. Like, I want just the heroes. I want like top level.
I want the heroes that are average people that are not like chosen ones.
I think learning too much
dynastic.
Learning too much about the people in the hovels in Star Wars is like you're ruining the fantasy.
Guys, the internet had this debate like 3 years ago, and we can't do it again. We cannot have this right now.
I'm right here, John.
Oh my God, that third one, the ninth film. It's an atrocity. It's like an absolute just abomination of film.
Where do you fall on the Ryan?
I think I liked it more than the second one.
Strong pro on the second one.
I don't like this.
I liked. He took a swing with that second one.
I did not like the second one.
Although I don't like the Canto Bite shit. That was whack.
I mean, it's not a perfect movie, but the third one is an absolute atrocity. It's just like what am I?
It's fan service. The movie.
Exactly. It's awful.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame.
Yes.
It is a shame, but Andor.
The Emperor, now he's bigger physically. It's just, why? Like, who cares? It's just,
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm going to like nerd out, so I'm trying to rein it in. I'm like in the midst of reading the Thrawn book right now, so I have a lot of feelings about clones, so I'm just going to, and we'll move on.
info@bloodygoodhorror.com is the email address. Dustin says... Five Nights at Freddy's. This property's all the rage among the kids. By the way, the kids who are into that are now like in their 20s, just so you know. To the point that while I think in theory the movie will be a good starter horror, it won't actually be that because the games already were that for kids seeing it. Side note, since Matthew Lillard is playing the villain, I had Freddie and Andy from Night of Living podcast get him to autograph some action figures at Horror Hound so I could give them to my great niece Annabelle, a total Five Nights at Freddy's fanatic. It turned out to be the first Freddy's merch he had ever signed.
Wow.
There you go. The weird thing about that movie is like people already made 4 different versions of that movie while they were waiting to,
Yeah.
It's got Mary Stuart Masterson in it. I haven't seen her something forever.
Bit of casting, like
I
the
know.
Curiosity of that is
Who
definitely
is that?
driving.
I have to Google that.
She was
What do I
bigger in
know
the
her from?
80s.
She was in like Some Kind of Wonderful.
Oh.
And, yeah.
Oh yeah, blonde.
Benny and June, right?
Yep. Fried green tomatoes. I know a favorite amongst this crowd.
You know what it is? It's like isn't it Carrie Russell in the Spirit Halloween movie?
Yeah.
Isn't that Carrie Russell? No.
She
Rachel
was
Lee
in
Cook.
Cocaine Bear. Oh,
Rachel
Yeah.
Lee Cook. Yeah. That's the new thing. These are like it's like these teen show people from our youth are now like cool moms.
yeah.
Eric,
Cool
I think
mom,
like 8 people saw that Spirit of Halloween movie. So
We all saw it.
yeah, no, we
Yeah,
did.
we were
did.
half.
I'm just saying, John. You know what's good, John? Star Wars.
Star Wars is good.
I'll
I'll talk Star Wars with you, Eric. If
Thank
they don't want to
you.
do it, I'll do it with you.
This is what okay.
Oh my God, Rachel, we were so close to moving off it.
You're never getting out of here. John.
Because
this
I'm
is your
like-
life now.
Because I'm a contrarian by nature, I don't like participating in the discourse while it's happening. So I will like literally fully tune it out. Like I don't even hear it. And then to John's point, Mark used to have to deal with this for years. 3 years later, I get into something, and then I just need somebody to talk to it about.
You know what's great? This thing everybody else was talking about 3 years ago.
I mean, the good thing with Star Wars is like literally the discourse never ends, so you can jump in wherever you want.
I mean, look,
don't you just feel lucky to know me sometimes, John?
It's really fallow though. Like where Star Wars is at now, like we're not getting another movie for a long time. And
we got Ahsoka and the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew. There's lots of Star Wars.
Those are all TV shows though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is that? Is that
if anything,
Ahsoka
I would say it's
TV show coming?
overexposed on TV.
Well, probably, but I can't wait for Ahsoka.
We should move on to Twitter, John. What's going on Twitter?
All right. I mean, you tell me. I've already looked at my 600 tweets today, so
okay.
Is that the limit? Is it 600 tweets?
Viewing 600.
Yeah.
it's 300. If you have
Like,
like
basically-
I
whatever.
thought it was like the way people are like about it. I thought it was like 50.
No.
Well,
But
he
if you-
changed
I think a lot of
it
people
3
like-
times over the weekend.
No, but Rachel, if you use TweetDeck,
Cocaine
you're
is a
gonna
hell
hit
of a
that.
drug.
If you use TweetDeck, you're gonna hit that in a half an hour
Yeah, you
Yeah.
hit
because
it
it
like
just scrolls.
You know what? I shouldn't. As someone who I go on Twitter like 3 times a month, and it's like when I get a notification that Eric has said something, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll respond to that.
You know, you are like always the one who likes and comments on my stuff. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate you.
you gotta update your notifications, Rachel.
Because since the Twitter blue bullshit, like my engagement has like been halved at least.
Yeah,
But not
that's
Rachel.
But threads. It's going
Threads.
to change everything.
Bloody good horror on Thread.
Between Threads and Mastodon, you're going to be popping.
Thread at me.
Casey, what do we got on Twitter?
All right, we got 3 tweets out there. First one comes from @the_Nun_Club. I enjoyed the movie Wrath of Becky up until the very end scene, but have you ever seen a movie jump the shark at the latest possible second the way Wrath of Becky did? If
Are they
not,
talking about
which
the
I'm not sure.
missile launcher thing?
I'm
The
not sure
CIO.
that's that. I don't think that's that out of line with the rest of the movie, to be honest with you.
Is the new Jump the Shark Bazook the Incel? Is that the...
This reminds me, while we're on this topic, I'm going to put this in my top 10 list. I'm going to slot it in at 9 right now.
Great. That'll get bumped.
Just underneath Evil Dead and above Sick, which is not going to be there at the end of the year.
Yeah.
You can just
We
go
have
ahead
to
and bump Sick.
remind Eric what Sick is every time.
No, I know now. I know now. I'm going to be real with you. If I had to lock this list in today, Sick is getting the boot for the Pope's Exorcist.
It's fine with me. Rachel, did you see Pope's Exorcist?
I mean,
It's
no.
not bad. It's not bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Yo, it's the best. What's his name in a long time? What's that guy's name?
Really?
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. Yeah.
This
It's some
is
top-notch
shocking.
Russell Crowe action.
It's.
See, this is
I
what I get.
laughed
Hubris.
I laughed more at Pope's Exorcist than I did at Wrath of Becky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Intentionally.
Check it out. I have it on my like to watch list before the end of the year, and I was like, yeah, I'll get to that when I get to that.
I
But,
don't want to build it up too much, but it's
I mean, my expectations could not be lower.
Totally.
So
that helps. That helps a lot actually.
okay, all right. I'm gonna give it a
Keep them basement level low.
All right, our next tweet comes from @WellHorror. This one's for you, Schnars. Does John train out in the woods for homeless hunting season? Also, how many plebes have you bagged this year, John?
What is this in reference to?
I don't know.
Do you have any sort of like wilderness survival skills that we don't know, like secret, like I am a good knife thrower? Like, do you have a thing that should the apocalypse
No.
come? No? Okay.
No, I mean, like, I've probably camped more than the average person, maybe. I
was in Boy Scouts for like 6 months. I could probably start a fire if I had to. Make a little
I think I could
pyramid,
start
Tie a
fire
knot.
kindling.
too.
I could start a one match fire. That's like the one thing I retained from Girl Scouts.
You mean when your daughter was in Girl Scouts, or?
No, when I was a Girl Scout leader.
But when your daughter was in Girl Scouts and you were the leader?
Well, I was made a Girl Scout too. Oddly enough.
I'm very confused about when you were.
You know what? It is a very progressive organization, and I think if they accept Casey amongst their ranks, then I support it. Go Girl Scouts!
You
You
Also,
guys
have
do what I
excellent
was doing.
cookies.
We were doing the show and I was doing that.
Okay, all right. I'd never put that together.
Yeah, I was a camp counselor for like 3 summers in a row.
Okay.
You're an honorary Girl Scout, apparently. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, last one comes from @Skizbot. The day is bright and clear, save for a few white, fluffy clouds in the distance. It's warm, but there's a cooling breeze coming off the water. The humidity is a comfortable 40%. You recline in the shade. Now describe to me your perfect summer cocktail.
I mean, for me, the summers are all about margaritas. Just like a classic tequila, lime, Cointreau. What's it? Triple sec. It's whatever you got.
Yeah, I could dig that.
I think I'm margarita adjacent. Like I would love like a delicious mezcal paloma. Nothing is better when it's hot than like super cold, tart grapefruit and smoky mezcal.
I have no answer for this.
Yeah.
You're like water.
I'm beer cold. I'm usually pretty happy.
Now I really want a paloma.
All right, that's it for Twitter. What we got on Insta, Eric?
Let's see.
Any threads? Are the threads live? Are we threading?
I guess we should start taking threads. Yeah. Let me look. I got the app right here, John.
Oh my god.
Threads. We have 7 followers.
Oh, hello. The 7 of
dude.
you.
Let's see. I don't even know how to look. Oh wait. Yeah, no, nothing on threads.
Come on, 7 up. I can't wait till you guys get on Blue Sky. It's gonna be a backlog.
That's where I want to be.
People tweeting out what they thought was the BGH account.
What actor should play a Nazi?
And
in the third
Rachel,
one?
obviously. Who's our future Nazi?
Wait, what was the question?
Who's the stunt casting Nazi in the third
Ooh,
film?
that's a good question. Well, okay, so we think maybe it's like Nazis in law enforcement. So like, who could be a good cop Nazi?
Well, you got to go
Timothy
comedian,
Oliphant.
right? I think
Timothy
it's got to be a comedian. I feel like it's gonna have to be a lady. I feel like they're gonna have to go lady comedian.
Oh, I was thinking Justin Long.
Oh, I mean that's
Melissa McCarthy.
they're not getting Melissa McCarthy.
That would be a huge. That'd be a huge turn for her.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
I think she's great.
I do think she's
like
great
her.
too.
I like her comedies. I think it'd be a cool turn for her.
I think she's too legit. Like you need kind of like a below the radar kind of
That's fair.
comedic actor. I mean, listen, I love Melissa McCarthy, but
How about Kate McKinnon from SNL? She's got the Aryan look going.
oh,
As in she's blonde.
Sure.
um,
My answer is David Koechner.
oh,
The
that's a
Keck.
good one. That is a good one.
Or Rob Riggle.
Or
Yeah.
Adam
Like
Scott.
anybody that was in a hot tub time machine. Like
Yeah,
probably
exactly.
be great.
100%.
Throw any one of them would be great.
100%. Oh my god. What's his face? Oh, fuck. Never mind.
Craig Robinson playing a Nazi would be,
Craig
be a swing.
No, I was gonna say John Cusack as a Nazi might be pretty good.
He could be scary. I could
Yeah.
see
I
that.
think he could. Yeah.
Yeah, and like he could use a. I mean, I don't know if that's a bump in his career or not, playing the Nazi in Becky 3. But
Throw it back.
I don't think.
yeah, I'm realizing as I'm saying it, as a
Man.
fan of the film.
Okay, just another swing then, since we brought up John Cusack. How about his sister Joan?
Okay.
Would she have on the neck brace from 16
God.
Candles?
I would hope so.
Okay, good. I'm only in if there's a neck brace.
Oh no, the early seasons of Shameless, as long as it's not that version of Joan Cusack, she was a little too crazy.
All right. Who has had the better overall career, Kevin James or Sean William Scott?
Well, Sean William Scott was in Bulletproof Monk, so
Kevin
him,
James
obviously.
has probably made 1,000 times more money than Sean William Scott.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
King
Regardless-
of Queens, he's still printing money off that shit. isn't he?
Regardless of that's the thing. But even without that, Kevin James gets those Adam Sandler friend roles, which are basically just like some kind of giant Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
like it's Kevin James.
I mean, we joked about Paul Blart earlier. Like they made a second one of those. Like he got paid a lot of money.
Sean William Scott had kind of I think he had some personal issues shortly after like the American Pies and stuff like that. There was a period after like Bulletproof Monk. I think he went through some shit and made his way back too. So,
you could tell me anything about Sean William Scott, and I'd be like, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, tracks.
Yeah. So Kevin James, I think, is
I
the
literally
correct
keep forgetting. Yeah, I think it's Kevin James.
Eric's too busy looking at the red.
What's your favorite unexpected sequel? I didn't actually know any other answers for this.
Orphan.
That was a good one.
That's a good answer.
What's the one that's like the sequel to Unbreakable that you don't know it's a sequel to The Last Beat?
Oh, Split. The
That
first,
one.
yeah.
That was the moment
That
where I
was good.
like had a jaw drop at the end.
No, yeah, that's a really good one. The third film, no, you just stop. You got to stop at Split, and
Sometimes abort. Yeah.
yeah. So
I feel like, are there any other secret sequels that you didn't find out till partway through it? That's always a fun little.
well, the whole
feel
point
like
with a
there's another
sequel is you're marketing it as related to an earlier popular film, and that helps you draw an audience. So it's like pretty rare to get like a true secret sequel.
Yeah.
I think my answer was Cloverfield Lane.
Oh, that was a good one too.
It's definitely one that I was
That's
not.
a very good one. Yeah.
All right, I have no idea what this means. Did any of you catch the Taking of Deborah Logan connection?
I mean, I
Well,
recognize
That
Joe
was the mom.
Larson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daryl.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the same.
Daryl Senior,
Gotcha.
which
Yeah.
there was a slight chuckle when they entered. She comes in at the end.
Well, I just knew. I was like, all right, this is not the last we've seen of her. There's no reason why, why would they
That's
cast her
true.
for that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so when, I call, I'm a genius.
called
I
it.
called the twist. Yeah, I'm sorry, not to brag. Kind of a big deal, but
She was pretty
Twist,
scary.
we
in,
brought back the only other actor we've introduced in this movie. That was a really long scene for her to have.
Yeah.
yeah,
She was pretty scary in Taking Deborah Logan.
she's fantastic in the Taking of Deborah Logan.
Yeah.
That is an underseen and underappreciated gem, as far as I'm concerned.
The cover art is creepy, and she looks creepy in it.
Yep. She looks just as creepy in the movie.
Yeah. Did you guys ever cover that?
We've not covered it. I
No.
feel like I watched it, but I
may have reviewed it.
haven't?
I may have actually reviewed that for the website
Watch it.
at one point.
Just don't look at IMDb because the main image spoils like one of the best moments in the movie.
yeah. Well, okay,
It's very annoying.
fair enough.
This is a good one. Casting teenagers as teenagers or actors in their 30s as teenagers, which is better?
Teenagers as teenagers.
Maybe, yeah, but but in the 90s, I could watch a movie with teenagers doing it, and I was like, all right, these people are like 35, like it's fine. It's not like now. It's just
That's fair.
it's strange, but I don't know, whatever.
I'm fine. Like, so her in real life, she's 17. I mean, that's more or less what she is in the movie. Maybe she's like,
Oh
maybe
yeah,
a
I
little
mean, I'm
younger.
talking in the general sense. In this movie,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it
Yeah.
works.
It kind of depends on the movie too. Like if it's something like like a high school horror movie where somebody's going after the school, you mix in some adults in there as teenagers. That's fine. You got a lot of space to fill, and they need to be able to prop that movie up. I get it. The one on the singles, the solo stuff, like with Wrath of Becky, I think you got to go with the teenager.
You're hanging a lot on them being a good actor, though.
Yes.
Right.
So that's
Yes.
2 more questions. I don't even know what this means. I forgot this was even coming out. Does she go to Queens to claim the throne?
I assume from the King of Queens, Kevin James.
Oh, I get it. Chuckle. Last question of the night from Rory. Do you want your kids to avenge you when you're inevitably murdered?
Yes.
Okay.
Avenge me. I don't
Yeah.
have children, so fellas, this is my call to you now. If anybody kills me, you better
So
freaking
grim.
avenge me.
Yeah.
I want justice of the bloody variety. I want bloody
I'll have
good
mine.
horror.
That's really
Okay.
funny, 'cause my answer was, it's fine. You can just let it go.
All right. Well, whoever was going to avenge Eric, you just move that energy on over to me.
If we've learned nothing, it's that cycles of violence,
are awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
There you go. Sure.
Look at us finishing each
Yeah,
other's
whatever.
sandwiches.
That'll be my last words. Please avenge Rachel.
Yes! Casey gets it!
I like it. All right, y'all. That's going to do it for the Taking of Deborah Logan. We are going to do Insidious next week. The Taking of Deborah. Jesus H. Christ. For the Wrath of Becky is what we review. Next week, we're doing an Insidious movie. What's it called? I don't know. Probably a terrible subtitle.
Insidious : The Red Door.
So, yes. So, here we are. I can't wait. I like that Vera Farmiga lady. She's pretty.
She's not in this.
She's
Yes, she is.
Is she?
No.
That's Conjuring.
Yeah, it's Conjuring movie.
Wrong Wanniverse.
Rose Byrne, and also a lady that I have a crush on. So
She's pretty too. So
it'll work.
I mean,
I believe what I said when we reviewed the original Insidious was that I want Rose Byrne to read bedtime stories to me.
I mean,
so there you go. That's gonna do
it's
it.
like both really wholesome and not wholesome at all.
Right, exactly, Rachel. You get where I'm going with this. Thank you.
Exactly.
Rachel, we're kindred spirits.
We are. I
agree. All right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll talk to you next week.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.